Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you today to invite you into a deeper realization of something that lies within all of us, a truth so profound, yet so often overlooked. It is not in the world outside where our true depth is found. No, it is within us, waiting patiently for our recognition. When we truly begin to realize the depth of who we are, the very fabric of our existence starts to change, and with it, our entire experience of life. Your true essence is not defined by the transient aspects of your life. In a world that constantly measures us by what we achieve, how we look, or the roles we play, it's easy to get lost in these fleeting external identities. We often base our sense of self on the things that are impermanent: our thoughts, our emotions, our physical appearance, our possessions, and our accomplishments. These things come and go, and with them our sense of self seems to fluctuate. When we succeed, we feel powerful. When we fail, we feel small. But in these external conditions, we will never find the lasting peace or fulfillment we long for. There is something within you that is untouched by the ebb and flow of life. Beneath the surface of your thoughts and emotions, beneath the impermanence of the world around you, there is a stillness, a presence that is constant. This is your true essence. It is the awareness that witnesses your thoughts, the observer behind the emotions, the silence beneath the noise. This awareness is not bound by time. It is not born, nor does it die. It simply is. When you begin to shift your attention away from the external, from the transient, and towards this inner awareness, you start to access the depth of your being. It is not something you need to acquire or achieve, it is already within you. This awareness has always been present, even when you were unaware of it. It is the foundation of who you truly are, beyond the labels and identities you may have attached to yourself over the years. It is timeless, unchanging, and infinitely deep. When you start to realize that you are not defined by your thoughts or circumstances, a profound freedom emerges. You no longer have to base your sense of self on the ever-changing conditions of life. You begin to recognize that you are something far more expansive, something beyond the temporary. Your true essence is unshakable and indestructible, and it is always available to you regardless of what life may bring. Embrace the silence that exists beyond your thoughts. In our modern world, we are constantly bombarded by noise, both external and internal. The external noise comes from the cacophony of daily life traffic, conversations, the constant pull of technology, and the endless distractions that demand our attention. The internal noise is just as persistent, often louder than the world around us. It is the continuous stream of thoughts, worries, judgments, and mental chatter that never seems to stop. This mental noise can make it difficult to connect with ourselves and the deeper layers of our being. However, if we can learn to embrace the silence beyond these thoughts, we begin to touch something more profound. Silence is not emptiness, it is the foundation of all existence. In the space between thoughts, in the quiet moments when the mind pauses, there is a depth of awareness that can be felt. This silence is not an absence, it is the presence of your true self, free from the conditioning of your mind. It is where clarity arises, where creativity flows, and where true wisdom can be accessed. This silence is always present, but it often gets drowned out by the constant noise of our thoughts. When you begin to consciously shift your attention away from your mental chatter and toward the stillness within, you will start to feel a sense of peace that cannot be found in the external world. The mind may try to pull you back into its cycles of thought, but in those moments of quiet, you begin to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that is aware of them. The beauty of silence is that it is not something you need to search for. It is always available, right beneath the surface of your thoughts. When you learn to rest in it, you open the door to a deeper experience of life, one where your true power and wisdom are always present, waiting for you to acknowledge them. Another key to understanding your depth lies in the realization that you are not separate from the world around you. Often we perceive ourselves as isolated individuals, separate from the rest of existence. We define ourselves by our personal experiences, our body, our name, and our possessions. We create boundaries mentally and physically to protect ourselves and distinguish ourselves from others. But this perception of separation is an illusion. In reality, you are intricately connected to everything. The air you breathe, the ground you walk on, the people you encounter, and the entire universe are not separate from you. Every element in the natural world is part of the same interconnected web of existence. At a deeper level, there is no boundary between you and the world. You are not an isolated entity, but rather an expression of the same life force that flows through all things. This interconnectedness means that your essence is not confined to your physical form. The energy that makes you who you are extends beyond your body and mind, connecting you to the vastness of the universe. When you begin to feel this connection, you recognize that your existence is not a random event, but a unique expression of something far greater. You are not separate from the earth, the trees, or the stars. You are one with them. The depth you seek is not only within you, but it is the same depth that is present in everything around you. This understanding transforms the way you experience life. No longer do you feel disconnected or alienated from the world. You begin to see the beauty and significance in everything, and you realize that your actions, your thoughts, and your energy have an impact on the whole. When you recognize this, you step into a deeper awareness, one where you no longer live solely for yourself, but as a conscious participant in the unfolding of the universe. Let us not forget that in realizing our depth, we also realize the power of presence. So often we find ourselves living either in the past or the future. The past holds our memories, regrets, and unresolved experiences. It often pulls us back into cycles of overthinking, trying to analyze what went wrong or wishing things had been different. The future, on the other hand, is a space filled with anticipation, worry, and uncertainty. We find ourselves constantly planning, hoping, or fearing what is to come. Yet in all this mental preoccupation, we overlook the only moment that truly exists, the present. The present moment is where your true power resides. It is the only moment where life can be experienced. Every thought, every emotion, every action you take is only real in the present moment. When you are fully immersed in the now, you are connected to your deepest self, free from the distractions of the past and the future. In this space, the layers of your mind declutter, the judgments and the projections begin to dissolve. What remains is the clarity of simply being, of being here and now without resistance, without distraction. Being present is not just about mindfulness or meditation. It's about experiencing life as it unfolds, without attachment to the way things were or the way they might be. In the present, you are fully engaged, fully aware, and fully alive. The moment becomes your point of power, because it is the only time you can influence, act, or truly experience. When you fully embrace the present, you recognize that it is not just a fleeting moment, but a doorway to something much greater. In it you access your true depth, that quiet, infinite awareness that is always present, no matter the circumstances. The past and the future are constructs of the mind, but the present is where your true essence can be felt, understood, and experienced in its fullest depth. When you begin to live from this deeper place within, your perspective on life transforms. It is no longer a series of obstacles, challenges, or random events that you must navigate. Instead, life begins to reveal itself as a dance, an unfolding process that is always in perfect harmony, even if it doesn't always seem that way at first glance. When you start to see through the lens of your inner depth, you begin to understand that everything that happens, whether perceived as positive or negative, serves a purpose in your growth and evolution. This shift in perspective comes when you begin to realize that life is not something you are fighting against, but something you are moving with. You are not separate from it, you are part of its flow. The struggles you encounter are not obstacles to your happiness, but opportunities for deeper understanding. Challenges are simply moments where life is inviting you to expand, to learn, and to step into greater alignment with your true self. The depth within you allows you to approach life with greater resilience, understanding that everything you experience is connected to the larger picture. When you see life from this deeper perspective, you stop viewing events as mere occurrences. Instead, you begin to recognize the intricate connections and the deeper wisdom that they carry. Even in moments of difficulty, you can feel the underlying current of life supporting you, guiding you toward growth. It is in these moments that you are called to tap into the wisdom of your true nature, where clarity and insight arise naturally, without effort. This deeper perspective is a gift that allows you to engage with life in a more profound and meaningful way. The world no longer feels like something you must conquer, but a space in which you can participate, explore, and evolve. Through this depth, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and every moment becomes an opportunity to experience life in its fullest expression. Realizing your depth is not an intellectual exercise. It is not something that can be grasped simply through analysis or logic. The mind can attempt to understand the concept, but true realization comes through direct experience. The intellectual mind, with its endless questions and explanations, can never fully comprehend the depth of your being because it operates on a limited, linear framework. Depth, however, is not confined to such constructs. It is experiential, felt on a much deeper, intuitive level. When you try to approach your depth through the mind, you may find yourself lost in confusion or frustration. You may feel as though you're chasing something you can't quite grasp. This is because the mind, with its constant need to categorize, dissect, and analyze, is not equipped to experience the vastness of your true essence. Depth is beyond the grasp of mental understanding. It is something that can only be experienced in silence, in stillness, and in presence. This realization is not about thinking your way into deeper understanding. It is about allowing yourself to step beyond the thinking mind and into the space of direct experience. It is about surrendering the need for answers and simply being with what is. When you do this, when you stop looking for concepts, ideas, and intellectual explanations, the depth of your being begins to reveal itself. You start to feel it in your body, in the stillness of the present moment. It becomes a knowing that goes beyond words. The heart knows what the mind cannot. It is through listening to the quiet wisdom within that you begin to touch the depth of your being. It is through presence, not thought, that you begin to awaken to the truth of who you are. The depth of your essence is something that can only be realized through experience, felt in the core of your being, and known in the stillness where the mind's chatter fades away.